The sun cast its golden light over the monastery as I approached the Buddha. Carrying the weight of my worries, the air was serene. The rustling leaves whispering secrets of timeless wisdom in the presence of the enlightened one. I bowed deeply, my mind troubled with thoughts of missed moments and days lost in relentless pursuit of perfection. Buddha, I began hesitantly, my voice trembling. I am consumed by the feeling of lacking enough time to accomplish everything I desire. The Buddha looked at me with an expression of infinite kindness, his gaze steady, calming my restless thoughts instantly. Dear one, he said gently, time is neither a river that flows away nor a treasure that can be hoarded. I was struck by the profundity of his words, yet the burden inside my chest remained. Stubborn like a clenched fist, I explained. Master, my responsibilities are endless. I chase them each day as if they are running away from me. The Buddha tilted his head thoughtfully, and his serene voice filled the space, carrying wisdom like the fragrance of blooming jasmine. Imagine, he began, carrying a vessel filled with water. And as you walk, the more you spill, the more you seek. I furrowed my brow, the imagery settling inside my mind like a puzzle begging to be solved and understood deeply. When you fill your heart with distractions, Buddha continued, you carry a vessel unbalanced, spilling the essence of living every moment. I reflected on his words, my heart aching with the truth they revealed, their resonance cutting through layers of denial. But how do I begin to live, I asked earnestly, without feeling crushed by the demands of the world around me? The Buddha placed his hand gently on the ground, his fingers grazing the earth's surface as he drew a small circle. Your life is this circle, he explained, complete as it is. The world outside, however, tempts you to redraw it endlessly. Every redrawn circle demands time and space, he said, but the original circle holds all the harmony and balance you need. I stared at the ground, my thoughts rippling like water disturbed by a pebble, seeking the equilibrium his words described. In living, Buddha spoke softly, you must learn to honor the moments as they are, instead of rushing to reshape them. I questioned, but, Master, won't the world see me as lazy or uncaring if I stop striving to do everything perfectly? Buddha's gentle laughter danced like a melody, filling the air with a sound that somehow held the weight of compassion. Perfection, he replied, is an illusion. True virtue lies not in doing everything but in being fully present with what you do. His words settled into my heart like seeds, as I realized how often I watered distractions instead of nurturing meaningful moments. He gestured toward a tree nearby, its branches heavy with fruits yet gracefully rooted, unhurried by the passage of time. Each fruit on the tree, Buddha said, ripens as it is meant to, without rushing nor fearing the end of its days. I gazed at the tree, the lesson revealing itself as I pondered its steady patience and unfaltering embrace of the present. Breathe, Buddha instructed. Feel your breath fully, as it enters, nourishes, and leaves you. This is the first step to freedom. I inhaled deeply, the air filling me with calm as I let my thoughts dissolve in the gentle rhythm of existence itself. Find a quiet place, Buddha instructed, his eyes radiating the calmness of the stars in night's dark embrace. Sit with stillness as your companion. Do you see those weeds? He asked. They sprout unbidden, competing with the flowers, yet they are not enemies to the garden. You must tend your garden, he explained, choosing which plants to nurture and which to release back to the earth lovingly. The analogy struck me deeply, a vivid image of the balance I had overlooked in my pursuit of conquering endless tasks. In your life, Buddha continued, learn to see your responsibilities as plants. Tend only what grows in alignment with your true self. His wisdom painted my thoughts with clarity, revealing the ways I let unnecessary obligations clutter the garden of my existence. But how, I questioned, Can I find peace when my mind clings to what I haven't accomplished or what remains undone? Buddha's eyes sparkled with understanding as he picked up a handful of sand, letting it fall grain by grain through his fingers. Each grain, he said, represents a moment. It is neither lost nor wasted but simply falls to join the fullness of the earth. I watched the sand fall, its descent a metaphor for the life I often rushed through, unaware of the beauty within each moment. To live, Buddha taught, is not to control the sand but to honor its presence, whether it rests or moves as it will. My heart softened with his words, the weight of misplaced expectations lifting as I saw time not as an enemy but a teacher. Master, I asked, how do I cultivate this perspective when surrounded by people who measure worth by productivity and accomplishment? Buddha raised a single finger to the sky, where a flock of birds soared freely, unbound by the constraints of the horizon. Do the birds measure the sky? He asked. Or do they simply fly, each wingbeat a perfect union of effort and ease? Their flight, he explained, reminds us that our worth is not found in numbers but in the grace of our intentions and actions. You do not fight the dust, Buddha said, his gaze illuminating Rahul's struggle. You let the winds of stillness clear it gently. Master, I said, bowing deeply, I see now that to honor time is to honor life. Moment by moment, fully present, the Buddha nodded, his presence luminous in the gathering twilight, his teachings a beacon of clarity amidst the chaos of existence. Buddha answered, his tone unwavering yet compassionate. Doubt is the shadow cast by knowledge-seeking light, Buddha said. Another day, another gathering under the sunlit skies. The Buddha sat surrounded by disciples seeking guidance on their troubles. A farmer joined the assembly, his face etched with the trials of a life bound by the rhythms of the earth. Blessed One, the farmer began, his voice heavy with exhaustion and longing for solace. My crops fail, my family hungers, my rest vanishes. The Buddha observed the farmer, his gaze soft yet piercing, revealing the depth of understanding that came without judgment. Sundari smiled softly, her gaze turning inward toward her newfound courage. Each day offers a new opportunity to awaken. Buddha reminded them, his presence eternal as the rhythmic tides of the ocean. Emptiness carries the promise of new life. As this field, now fallow, gathers strength for the planting season. The farmer frowned, struggling to reconcile the words with the pressing weight of his labor and the immediate needs of survival. The Buddha picked up a handful of earth, letting it crumble between his fingers, a gesture imbued with deliberate simplicity. The earth rests, not to abandon its duties, but to create space for vitality to emerge, he explained with serene clarity. Your spirit mirrors the soil, farmer. Without moments of stillness, you rob yourself of the renewal needed for the seasons ahead. Rahul whispered his gratitude silently. Sundari smiled softly, and Ananda breathed deeply, their hearts united in purpose. The Bodhi tree stood witness to their journey, each leaf holding Buddha's teachings as a sacred memory. Farmer, the Buddha said, his voice steady and warm like the sun. The bird does not toil without pause nor suffer hunger. The farmer looked toward the skies, his eyes searching for the truth hidden in the master's wisdom. The Buddha pointed to a bird perched on a tree branch, its song resonating through the tranquil air. The bird works to gather food yet stops to sing, reflecting a rhythm that nourishes its existence, the Buddha explained. The farmer felt a stirring within, a subtle recognition of the discord between his relentless toil and the balance needed for harmony. To honor your cycles of effort and stillness is to live in rhythm with the nature of existence, the Buddha advised. Sundari knelt near the bird, her gaze tender, as if recognizing the reflection of her struggles within its frail form. Every being carries its own scars, Buddha continued, his voice steady. resonating with the stillness of the moment. Though its beauty fades, its essence persists. Embodying the dance of impermanence and continuity, he continued. The farmer's heart swelled with the tender wisdom that painted his life's struggles in a new light, moving him toward clarity. Master, he said, bowing deeply, I shall honor the cycles of effort and stillness, as the earth itself does. The Buddha smiled, his gaze embracing the farmer with the warmth of compassion and the assurance of truth. Through kindness, Ananda, Buddha replied, kindness is the balm that soothes unseen wounds. The bridge that connects pain to healing, Buddha explained, his words flowing effortlessly. Balance your actions with moments of pause, for both are essential in weaving the tapestry of life, the Buddha concluded. The sun began to set, casting long shadows over the meadow, a visual metaphor for the day's lessons of light and dark. The farmer left the gathering with a heart unburdened, his steps carrying him forward with newfound wisdom to guide his journey. The Buddha remained seated under the sky, his presence a beacon of peace and understanding to all who sought. The disciples absorbed his words, their breaths synchronizing with the rhythm of Buddha's teachings. Each act of kindness toward yourself is a step toward wholeness, Buddha continued, his voice resonating like a sacred mantra. Another day passed under the ever-turning wheel of life, each moment as sacred as the next in its unfolding. Another day, another conversation unfolded beneath the tranquil hues of the monastery, where disciples gathered to seek their master's wisdom. A young monk approached the Buddha, his brow furrowed and his spirit restless amidst thoughts of tasks awaiting tomorrow. Master, the monk spoke, his voice trembling with unease. Though I strive for mindfulness, my thoughts race toward the burdens of future days. The Buddha observed the monk with profound calm, his presence radiating compassion that embraced the fragility of the human condition. Dear monk, the Buddha began, his words deliberate and soft. Do you see the setting sun on the horizon before us? The monk turned his gaze toward the golden hues painting the sky, a fleeting display of nature's beauty and impermanence. Does the sun, in its descent, yearn for the morning light that is yet to come? The Buddha questioned gently. The monk hesitated, his thoughts caught between the simplicity of the question and the complexity of his inner turmoil. No, Master, the monk replied, his voice barely above a whisper. The sun shines its last rays without yearning, and so must we, the Buddha spoke, his gaze steady, shine in the present moment, unburdened by the weight of tomorrow's tasks. When you nurture another, as you have nurtured this bird, you nurture yourself, Buddha said, his voice imbued with timeless wisdom. Each act of care strengthens the thread of compassion that binds us all, Buddha continued, his words weaving through their hearts. Carry this bowl across the monastery grounds, the Buddha instructed. Do so with care, spilling not a single drop. The monk accepted the bowl, cradling it in his hands, and began his deliberate journey through the pathways. Each step required full attention, his focus wholly absorbed in keeping the bowl steady, his mind silent with purpose. Upon his return, the Buddha greeted him with a warm smile, his gentle presence inviting reflection without judgment. What did you notice as you carried the bowl, dear monk? The Buddha asked, his words an invitation to explore. Only the bowl and its water. Master, the monk replied, his tone filled with curiosity and faint traces of newfound awareness. The Buddha nodded, his wisdom illuminating the space like sunlight filtering through leaves. The bowl became your world, your singular focus, and so the noise of past and future fell away, he explained. Buddha spoke again, his voice gentle yet firm. Compassion is both a practice and a habit, cultivated through repeated intention. The disciples nodded, their spirits resonating with the simplicity and profundity of his teachings. Reflect upon the sparrow's journey, Buddha said. Its recovery teaches us that healing is not linear but cyclical. The Buddha smiled, his teachings flowing through the gathering like a river nourishing all in its path. Disciples, the Buddha addressed the assembly. The present moment is the wellspring of life, containing all we need if we simply arrive. Yes, Sundari. And every soul carries the wisdom to discern that rhythm within. The disciples remained silent, their hearts swelling with the understanding Buddha's words had planted. The Buddha remained seated, his presence a beacon of stillness, offering peace to those who sought. Through this encounter, the Buddha illuminated the path to quieting the mind and embracing the eternal now as life's sanctuary. His teachings echoed across ages, resonating within hearts longing for solace, reminding all to live in the rhythm of presence. Another day passed within the cycle of existence, each moment sacred in its fullness and grace. As night descended, the sparrows' chirps turned into soft coos, a lullaby for the disciples' weary souls. They sat in stillness, their breaths syncing with the sparrows' rhythm, their hearts embodying Buddha's teachings. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.